Welcome to the Backyard Bouquet Podcast, where stories bloom from local flower fields and home gardens. I'm your host, Jennifer Gulizia of the Flowering Farmhouse. I'm a backyard gardener turned flower farmer located in Hood River, Oregon. Join us for heartfelt journeys shared by flower farmers and backyard gardeners. Each episode is like a vibrant garden, cultivating wisdom and joy through flowers. From growing your own backyard garden to supporting your local flower farmer, the Backyard Bouquet is your fertile ground for heartwarming tales and expert cut flower growing advice. All right, flower friends, grab your gardening gloves, garden snips, or your favorite vase because it's time to let your backyard bloom. Welcome back to the Backyard Bouquet Podcast, where we dig into the stories behind the blooms and meet the people growing beauty in their corners of the world. Today, we're traveling all the way to Newcastle, Australia to meet Jessica Eckford-Aguilera, a woman whose creativity and entrepreneurial spirit have helped her build one of Australia's most beloved floral destinations, Newcastle Food and Flower Markets. Jessica's journey into flowers is such a beautiful one. What began as a love for creativity and community has grown into a thriving hub for floral design, education, and connection. Through her Newcastle Flower School and her work bringing locally grown blooms to her region, Jessica has become a true champion for bold and thoughtful floral design. And now she's taking that passion one step further as the visionary behind the first ever Flower Summit, a multi-day event coming to Newcastle in November of 2026. Tickets have just gone on sale, and I can already tell that this gathering is going to be something truly special. It's going to be a celebration of creativity, learning, and the community that unites all of us who love flowers. So today, we're going to explore Jessica's story, what drew her to a life surrounded by flowers, how she's built such a vibrant community in Newcastle, and what she envisions for the future of the floral industry through the upcoming Flower Summit. So whether you're in the garden, harvesting blooms, or just dreaming about next season's flowers, please join me for this inspiring conversation with Jessica. Hello, Jessica. Welcome.
Wow, what an intro. Thank you so much.
Well, you have such an impressive background. I mean, there was a lot to say about you. I'm so happy you're here today.
Oh, thank
Thank
you so
you.
much for inviting me.
Oh, it's such an honor. So you are in Australia. This was a hard podcast to schedule, juggling our schedules, because there's such a time difference between the two places.
Yes, we did it.
And so are you at the start of your season right now? Is it
Yeah, we're in the
fall? Or no,
middle
I'm
of
sorry, it's
spring. Yeah,
spring. You're
we're
in
right in the
spring.
middle of a beautiful time of year for flowers. But yeah, very, very lovely time here.
We were just kissed by frost this morning. So our season has officially ended as we are speaking now.
Oh, I'm sorry about
But
that.
that's okay. Everything has to have a rest, and I'm ready for my rest.
Yeah, good for you.
It's going to give me time to get back to the podcast. So I'm looking forward to sharing more of these stories with the world. So let's start with your story today, Jessica. What drew you to flowers?
Oh, wow. So florals have been in my life for a good 25 years, I would say, probably a little bit more. I was always, I guess, for me, growing up, going into corporate world, I was running events and it just wasn't me. I hated routine. I hated working for someone and I just am a dreamer as well. So it was by chance that the IT company I was working for, there were redundancy packages and I put my hand up for one and I can never sit still. So a friend of mine who ran restaurants and venues had asked me would I be interested if I would do his weddings for him and be the event manager. And I was like, oh, I kind of thought about it. But that led me into florals. And it was such a beautiful time, I guess, going into weddings and building relationships with these beautiful couples. And there was just a couple of vendors that this owner was working with that he wasn't happy with, I wasn't happy with. And I said, hey, listen, let me start my own business. And I was 23 at the time, and he said, we'll do it. And I said, I'm going to do it. So he really was responsible for giving me a big kick in my first business. So starting that at 23 was pretty amazing. And, obviously there's so many risks when you start your own business, and going into it, the first one was walking out of that event management role and walking into this business full time and paying myself a minimum wage. That was my first risk. Second risk was going, okay, I can no longer meet my clients at cafes and restaurants. I wanted to have my own beautiful space where I could showcase designs and showcase who I was. So that next risk was finding a location to lease, which I did. And then the third risk was it was getting really busy. So I had to find someone to help me, and finding someone and paying them a full-time wage was my third risk, but it was just amazing and paid off. So my first company went on for 15 years. It was really, really successful events company in Sydney, which is probably about 2 hours from Newcastle. And it was very good to me and gave me a beautiful lifestyle. I have 3 beautiful boys, which I had in Sydney. But I was ready to make a sea change. Being a mummy, I wanted to come back home, which was Newcastle. And being entrepreneurial, I'd said to a girlfriend, well, Newcastle's growing really fast. I'm going to bring a flower market there. There wasn't one that currently existed. And so I did. And it was a huge project, opening up a flower market and a wholesale flower market at the time. So we started out in a warehouse, and it was really successful at doing it wholesale. But then I think big, and I'm serving coffee out of a little window to my floral designers at 3, 4 a.m. in the morning. I'm like, oh, why not build a cafe? So we built a cafe, part of it, and it was again another big process. And in between doing weddings, which I was always building up relationships from Sydney up to Newcastle, and we were building a reputation for that. So they were always around me, flowers. And then it just grew really fast, the flower markets. And a passion of mine was to always mentor, especially young girls. And there was a current program in Newcastle that I wasn't really happy with the way that they were teaching. And I begged them to change their curriculum and said, I'll donate my time for free. But it was just like a no, no, no. So my passion from that was to start my own flower school. So Newcastle Flower School was born as an arm off Newcastle Flower Markets. And that's been hugely successful. So we do a lot of lifestyle workshops. We do 3 career courses per year. And we're now in our 4th year of flower school and going into our 10th year of Newcastle Food and Flower Markets. So we do around about 200 weddings a year.
Oh my gosh.
I know, and this is crazy season at the moment. Well, last weekend I just came out of 11 weddings for the weekend, and yeah, it was pretty crazy, but we're very organized. And but I guess from my end, I've had it, working with flowers from so many hats, being a floral designer, working with growers, owning a flower market, teaching and mentoring with the flower school. So it's just been so beautiful to be surrounded by them. And I say to everyone, it's mine, definitely. It's flower therapy. We get to be surrounded by the most beautiful things every day. And I say it every day. I have the best job in the world because every day is different, which is nice for me because I'm not robotic and I don't like to do the same things every day. But another dream of mine throughout this whole process was to be able to take women around the world on flower tours and showcase females in floriculture. And we recently come back from Washington State, which I knew was going to be life changing, but to the extent of how life-changing it was, oh my goodness. I met the most incredible female-led flower farms. I mean, I loved every one of them. And one in particular, I have grown very close with, Marin, Farmhouse
She's
Flowers.
amazing.
Oh, I love her so much. And we were just chatting, and I said, "Oh my God, I can't believe there's no platform out there for women in floriculture anywhere around the world. And I want to bring you to Australia." And she said, "Well, do it." And I'm like, "I'm going to do it." She went, "Well, just do it." And I'm like, "I'm doing it." So I remember her coming to see me before I left Washington State. Like, we were just, she was just so magnetic. Like, we're all inseparable from this woman. And I said, like, she pulls up in the driveway as we're about to pull out. And, it was something like, she said, "Wow, in the short time I've met Jess, she really is going to do something." She says she's going to do it. She's going to do it. And that's where Flower Summit was born in Washington State. And from
Amazing.
that moment, I was just a gun. I was working on this project on the plane, and I'd launched the business name. I was already on fire, and it was just something that has never felt so right to me, that I've found something that is so magical. And to be able to showcase women in floriculture around the world is going to be life changing for everyone. And it's going to be a platform globally where we can educate, share knowledge, connect, build beautiful friendships, and ensure everyone succeeds. It's a sisterhood, it's a flower movement, and it's a community where it's just going to get stronger and stronger. So I feel really proud of, it's finally here. We launched the website, as you know, on Monday this week, and I literally did that in 5 weeks and cannot believe it was just like, it's born and it's out there. So feeling very excited as to where this is all going to go.
That's amazing. I want to go back for a second. You said you started this journey when you were 23.
Yes.
That's amazing. I want to really honor that because, I mean, when I was 23 years old, I had no idea what I was going to do with my life. I mean, I was windsurfing. I thought I was going to go into corporate America. I tried a lot of jobs along the way. And it wasn't until I was in my 30s that I truly found my soul calling to be a flower farmer and be in the floral industry. So the fact that you got into it at 23 and you're still in it 20 something years later is a true testament to how powerful this industry really is. So, when was the moment that you knew that working with flowers was your calling? Was there a specific moment?
Yeah, I think it was. Absolutely. I remember when I first started out, and I was no floral designer. I was never formally trained, but I had a girlfriend work with me, and I still actually, in fact, I was at the flower markets in Sydney this morning, and I run into her, and she taught me everything there was to know about floral design. And this woman was so particular, and built the most beautiful bouquets, and I learned everything from her. And I remember she got sick at one of my jobs, and I'm like, "Oh my God, how am I going to pull this wedding off? How am I going to put together these bridal bouquets?" And it was like a light bulb moment for me to go, "Oh my God, you can do this." This little voice, you've been watching her for a couple of years now, and you've been assisting her. Just do it. And from that moment on, it was on, and I never looked back. And she worked with me for probably 10 years, and then started traveling a little bit. She had children, and that, but I can thank her for this beautiful journey. But yeah, it's the most amazing industry. I've watched it change so much over COVID, and it was, I think, it put so many things into perspective for so many of us, and the
Absolutely.
industry. and taught us so much about ourselves and our business. And, I remembered my husband and I, it still feels so surreal talking about this because the world stopped. And I remember us in our lounge room going, please just let us do takeaway, and I remember our business was considered to be, what's the word that
Essential?
doctors, yes, essential. Thank you. And it saved my life because I obviously am an extrovert. My husband is an introvert, and he was quite happy to to not see people. Whereas for me, it was so powerful. I remembered I one of my pregnancies, I had a little bit of postnatal depression, and didn't last for that long, thank God. But I remember how sad I was and not knowing why I was so sad. And it was a little bit of that feeling was brought back when this happened, having my freedom taken away from me. I'm an ocean girl. I need that ocean for me to get my groove back when I feel a little bit low. We're all different, and that being taken away from me was really hard. But we had just thankfully launched these goodness boxes 3 months before COVID hit, where we would deliver the most, beautiful sourdough bread, fruit and veggies, eggs, honey, flowers to people. And this was just my husband and I. We went from 5 boxes a week to 300 boxes a week. And it
Wow.
was
When COVID
just,
hit.
yeah. And everyone was supporting everyone's business, and everyone had wanted these beautiful goodness boxes for their homes. And it saved me because, there were so many lonely people. And just to get a bunch of flowers in a box, like I remember talking to this beautiful elderly lady who lived by herself. And I don't know, I'm sure she was never going to eat this whole box. It was just about companionship. And I'm like, go get a cup of tea. I'm going to just put it there. I'm going to sit on your steps. You sit there. I'm here for you. Let's chat. And it was just those little things that I think saved a lot of people over that time. But I mean, flowers make, there's so many emotions with florals because, I always, in my role, having a flower market, you're seeing boys come in or men come in and they've done the wrong thing, or they just want to make their wives happy. And then you're seeing, people that have lost someone, and, people, young boys wanting to give, their first girlfriend flowers. Like, there's so many beautiful emotions that you get to see in my business, and I feel really grateful for that.
Absolutely. Well, flowers meet us at every moment in life. I mean, everyone has a connection to flowers, and that's what makes it so meaningful.
Yeah, absolutely.
And being part of that is just an incredible thing. I know COVID really changed my view of the floral industry also. I had 1 year under my belt as a flower farmer,
Yeah,
and then COVID hit, and we went all I mean, we were growing on a quarter acre at the time, which is a small amount of space, but I sold everything that I could grow that year. And
yeah.
it affirmed to me, okay, local flowers matter. What
Oh,
I'm doing
yes.
matters. And I can do this and I can scale it. And people were so hungry. That was one of my best CSA years because
Oh,
people needed that connection with people. I mean, some of those older ladies you're talking about, I was the only person that they saw through their window waving as
yeah.
I would drop off their CSA bouquet.
Yes, absolutely. And such a little thing can create something magical for someone. Like that little tiny floral makes a difference to someone's life. It's, yeah, definitely you saw it over that. Still saddens me that time. Yeah.
I know. Well, let's talk about something a little bit more happier than COVID
Yes.
here. Um, so you started in the wedding industry. You're still providing wedding flowers, is that correct?
Yeah, we do around about 200 weddings a year.
Which is
Crazy.
incredible. Is there a
Yes.
team that you have that helps you with that?
Oh my goodness, yes. I would not be able to do without my team. It's not huge. I'm so grateful for my girls. We have a team of three, and I'm a very organized person, and yeah, we just get it done and we have a beautiful time doing it. But yeah, very grateful.
So, with your business model, you do the weddings, you have your flower market. Is it the market where people are booking their weddings with you? Is that the
Yeah,
business?
definitely. We have built up such a beautiful reputation in Newcastle when it comes to bridal flowers or flowers in general. We always say we're not the cheapest, we're not the most expensive. We sit in the middle, and if you want really beautiful quality florals, then that's what you're going to get from us. But one of the things that has made us very successful is, and not to go back to COVID, but over that time and now obviously with in Australia, the cost of living, everything's expensive everywhere. The budgets that people used to have were not there anymore. People don't have $10,000 to spend on wedding flowers anymore. And if they do, they're few and far between. But I created something really beautiful. I created 5 different packages where like they're all very cost effective, and it just has gone mental for us with that, and having that value for money as well. It's been such a huge thing for us, and obviously it's taken us to doing so many weddings as well. But yeah, it's a really beautiful part of the business.
So, with your weddings and everyday flowers in general, I'm curious because you are halfway across the world from me. What kind of flowers are you working with?
Oh, so many. You would love what I got this morning. Oh my God. I'll have to I'll share it with you later on. We're obviously in a beautiful time, spring here, but tree peonies I got this morning, the first of the lilac that's just hit. Oh my God, so beautiful. Cosmos, Scabiosa, Delphinium. Oh my God, I could go on forever. And it's I don't know. It just gives me this feeling when I bring everything back to market, and oh, wow. It's just so many beautiful things. Very, very lucky. And obviously, you've got all these beautiful local roses in at the moment, the big cabbage roses. And yeah, the garden roses at the moment are insane.
So, are most of the flowers that you're able to use grown in Australia?
Yeah, definitely. And look, I'm not just a floral designer, obviously owning the market. So I have to showcase a lot. Now, if a bride wants an imported rose, then she's going to get an imported rose. And, the big trend on reflexing and all of those things, it still happens. But 95% of our flowers are local. And I adore my growers, and the work that they put into nurturing their flowers is so admirable. And I think it's more about educating the consumer these days, not just about the grower and what they do, but the floral designer. We're both not in a field with a beautiful little basket, frolicking, picking florals. We are, overnight you can have your crops damaged. Frost, you were just talking about.
Yes.
We've seen it here in Australia how quickly growers can lose everything, which is heartbreaking. So for me, I have so much respect for my growers. If it wasn't for them, I wouldn't have a business. So, do I want to be a grower? No way. I don't have the time, and I love it. Don't get me wrong, I love hands in soil, I love harvesting, but I simply don't have the time to do that. What is really beautiful is seeing how many new growers are popping up, and females. It's
So many.
just, oh my God, it just makes my heart sing knowing that there are so many beautiful female growers popping up and doing so amazing at it as well. Very cool.
That's awesome. I think the local flower movement, when we think of it here in the US, I think so many of us just picture what's going on in the US, but the local flower movement is really a global movement right now of people wanting to support their local businesses, wherever
Yes.
country they're in.
Definitely. And the more the better. There's so many positives. We need bees, we need all of these beautiful things that are associated with flowers. So bring it on.
Absolutely. Well, I love that you bring a different perspective than most of my guests to this show because most of my guests are the ones growing the flowers. So, a lot of us listening, we grow the flowers for the florists. What advice would you have for the grower so that they can have better communication, better relationships with the florists that they work with?
Yeah,
Do you-
I think is talking to your floral designers about the latest trends in color palettes and styles. I often have a lot of my growers going, "Hey Jess, what should I grow next? What colors should I grow? What are popular right now?" I think having that relationship with your floral designer and grower, I mean, that's what it is all about, right? That beautiful connection. The more floral designers hitting up our growers, the more our growers can grow and do what they love as well. So it's a win-win for everyone. But yeah, talk more to each other. I think the communication.
Communication with everything is so important. The
Right.
more you communicate with people, the better everything is.
Absolutely. And I think having these beautiful circles, like, kind of saw a little bit, a few years ago, and no one wanted to share information. Everyone's so tight knit and tall poppy syndrome and all of that. Like, share your knowledge because it's the more of us that join forces, the bigger and more powerful it can be. And with everything that is, I think. But yeah, support one another. I think it's so important and just, yeah, communicate. Such a good word.
Absolutely. That is a great word. Okay, so you mentioned to communicate what growing trends are. What are the growing trends right now in Australia?
Oh, wow. So very whimsical and, ethereal, flowy design, lots of movement. So you're seeing lots of cosmos, lots of like that wild scabiosa, very on trend at the moment. But also too, I mean, I'm doing heaps of them. Girls wanting every color of the rainbow in their bouquets. I just on the weekend did two very spring tone weddings with beautiful powder blue delphinium and like hot pink dahlias, orange roses. Oh wow, lemon snapdragons, like all these really beautiful tones that just pop. Yeah, it's beautiful at the moment. We're in a
It's
great
so
time of
nice
year.
I'm loving all the color coming back in because for a while it seemed like everything was
White.
green and white. And I'm like,
Yes.
you can only grow so many white flowers.
I
And
know.
for me, a lot of my whites get bug damage. And so there's a
Yes.
lot of crop loss. I have to grow so much more
Yeah.
to allow for that loss where the colors, certain colors, things don't bother them as much. So,
And you're never going to go wrong with growing those beautiful, like, your blush pinks, your peach tones, I mean, there's so many beautiful breeds, different breeds of like spider gerbers at the moment, like latte, burgundies are coming out, like all these beautiful, beautiful new breeds of chrysanthemums. And
oh my gosh,
oh
yeah,
my God, so beautiful. The spider chrysanthemums, like all of these things. I don't know. I could go on for hours, as you would too.
it's hard when you talk to a flower person, you can talk forever. My
I
husband's
know.
always like, "Did you just meet that person and you can talk to them that long?" I'm like, "Well, there's always something to talk about with flowers."
Absolutely.
Flower people are the best.
We are.
So, I love this. And then you have your education side where you also teach.
Yes.
When do you have time for that?
Wow, I know. And it's so beautiful. That mentoring side for me is something I really love. This space that we've created here, it's pretty big in Newcastle, but I don't know what it is or what I've created in this school or in this area, but school in particular, I don't know, it seems that everyone wants to, share their information as in like, we cry together, we laugh together, and it's such a beautiful space. It's a safe place, and people feel that they can really open up in this space. I always say it's just my school is not just a flower school. It's this beautiful, empowering, inspiring support network that every time I do a class, I'm like, is it going to get better? And it just gets better. The next class is better. That class is better. It's just, you meet the most amazing creatives. I've got a girl at the moment, a beautiful young girl, and she's autistic, and I'm teaching, she's part of my class. Wow, has she taught me so much. And the way her beautiful mind works, like this girl is smashing out bouquets and doing it so beautifully. And yeah, it's so lovely. My job is just so beautiful to be able to work with everyone on all types, all different levels. And 60-year-old women just wanting to learn a new skill because they've never done anything for themselves. And now at 60, they've gone, stuff it, I'm doing something for me. And so grateful that they chose me to have, that journey, that floral journey. But yeah, it's a really beautiful thing that we've created.
That's incredible. So your classes are taught in person or virtually or both?
Yeah, so at the moment it's in person. It's for me, I mean, I love the virtual thing, but I'm such an old-fashioned girl. I'm a touchy-feely, and I just think that the way that I make people feel when they're in my class. I'm always scared of going online because I want to be able to ensure that they feel that from me virtually. And I haven't stepped over into that space. And whilst I get so many emails on a monthly basis going, hey, I'm here, I want to do your class, are you going to go online? I just look, I thought about it a little while ago and did a little bit of filming, but yeah, I don't know. Watch this space maybe, but I don't know. I'm too busy now, I think. And with everything else going on in the new projects, I think that I'll leave that one.
Sure, you have a lot on your plate right now.
Yeah.
And so last year you added your flower tours to your lineup of offerings. Is that correct?
Yes, yes. A big dream of mine was to always take women around the world on flower tours and showcase female led flower farms, showcase floral designers, and we were able to do that in Washington State. It was just the most beautiful, beautiful thing to do. I knew it was going to be life changing, but to the extent of what I was saying before, was enormous. And I felt so grateful for being over there and meeting the people I got to meet. It was all just meant to be. It felt like I was meant to be in Seattle, meant to be in Stanwood, meant to, like, it was just everywhere where I don't know, I felt at home, but it was the most magical experience.
How did you decide on Washington?
Yeah, so funny. Good old Graham, the Instagram. We're all guilty of scrolling, but I scroll for florals and inspiration all the time. And I just kept coming across these amazing women, and I just hit them up and said, hey, I think Marin was the first one. And I said, this is what we're thinking. She was like, oh my God, Marin, it's like, oh my God, you've got to come over. And it was just the start of that. And then obviously Galena, incredible, talented flower grower, and Emily from Idlewild, and just beautiful. Three very different growers, three very different women, and three very different farms. But yeah, just a magical experience. And so grateful that they allowed us to walk onto their farms. Galena had never let anyone go onto her farm. We were the first ones to go on there. And she was like, you know what? I really like you. We did a Zoom and I want you to come over. And I'm like, oh my God, wow. And she's such a beautiful person. And, that would have been hard. But I think now she's on a roll. She's just doing, people are on her farm now. And I think she really enjoys the education side. And I think she's going to be really good at that as well. So maybe I taught her something a little bit about herself that, she should get out and do it because she's really knowledgeable. We see her on the gram and she shares everything. It's beautiful.
She's so good about being consistent. I'm about an hour away from Galena.
Oh,
I still
wow.
haven't seen her new farm, and so I'm so anxious to. I was messaging her the other day saying, I need to see it before frost.
Oh, and she loves you. She hooked me up with you, actually. I think we
She
were,
did, yes.
yes, and yeah, she absolutely loves what you're doing. So that speaks lots of words, doesn't it?
Well, that's what I love about this community. I mean, Marin was one of my first cheerleaders. I think she
Oh,
started growing a year before me, and we've been friends for 7 years. And Galena, I'd have to go back, but it's got to be 5 or 6 years ever since she started
wow.
growing. I mean, the community of women in this industry, it's top notch. And it's not just that people are good at what they do, they care about
Yes.
not just their farm, but seeing the other farmers thrive,
And
not just
so
succeed, but thrive.
beautiful. Yes, absolutely. Isn't that what it's all about, though? You want to see each other succeed and thrive and flourish in the industry. I think that don't work against each other, work with each other. And, there's plenty of room for everyone in this industry. So, yeah,
Right.
it's
And
beautiful.
it's not like we're competing with each other. I mean,
Right.
we're in such different areas. We're far enough away that we're each serving a different local market. And if we can elevate one another, the whole industry just
Yes,
rises,
absolutely. Well said.
which leads to what you are putting on. Let's talk about what you have going on. Let's talk about the summit. I'm so excited.
Oh, I'm so excited and so excited to bring you out as one of our speakers as well. It was born in Washington State, actually. I was there for the flower tours, and it was just in conversation with Marin, actually. I was saying to her that I couldn't believe that there wasn't a platform out there globally for women to connect, and I was saying, I really want to bring you out to Australia. And she was the one that said, well, do it. And I said, well, I'm going to do it. And she said, well, do it now. And I'm like, it was born there. And then it literally, I was on my phone going, right, business name, all of this. And it was done in 15 minutes. And it's such a big passion of mine to be able to connect other women, showcase and elevate women in general, but women in floriculture, and not just flower growers, it's floral designers, it's educators. Um, it's even women who are thinking of jumping into the world of flowers or just want to be surrounded by amazing like minded women. The Flower Summit is going to be an empire. I really feel I've never felt anything so right in my life as to when I created this. And it's been incredibly, I don't want to say I'm just going to touch wood here, but it's been so easy. I remember going, all right, Marin, are you coming? She was like, I'm in. Galena, are you in? I'm in. And then Jen, it was just like bang, bang, bang. And then I wanted to be able to, obviously have three amazing internationals come out, and then obviously showcase some incredible Australian influential floral creatives, and on top of that, business leaders, because I think it's something that for me, I never stop learning. I want to learn all the time. And I think for a lot of people, social media is a huge part of our lives now. And things are evolving and changing daily. And algorithms, like, it's so hard to keep up. So we're bringing in a social media guru. We're bringing in the branding and marketing guru. So to ensure that, your brand is reflecting on who you are. A lot of the floral creatives I saw don't have, professional shots. That you are so easy to just take pictures from your gram because you shoot so beautifully. Obviously, your beautiful photography background. But I think it's so important to have a beautiful headshot, some professional shots of you in your happiest. And we're bringing in an amazing photographer. Um, and yeah, so there's so many aspects with the Flower Summit that, yeah, so many of you will get so much from the event. But yeah,
It
very
sounds
exciting.
it sounds incredible. So tell me, or tell us, so my listeners can understand, what is the Flower Summit?
So, the Flower Summit is a platform that showcases and elevates women in floriculture all over the world. We are going to be the voice for the industry globally. We are there to ensure, people know about you because you deserve to be known and that we appreciate you. It's a beautiful industry that, I was a little shocked that nothing existed out there. But there's going to be lots of arms of this business that will grow, obviously, around the world. But I see flower summits happening in so many countries. And it's going to be a place where we all connect. I mean, obviously, we're launching the first one in Newcastle, Australia. But who's to say we're not going to launch another one in Washington State or another one in the Netherlands? And there's going to be lots of exciting news coming into the future with Flower Summit.
So this first summit, where is it taking place?
Sure. So it's taking place in Newcastle, Australia, at a stunning location called Stanley Park. It's set on 28 acres on the water here. And I wanted I wanted all of the summits. I didn't want them to be in a hotel room where it's four walls. I mean, we're all organic, creative people, and I wanted it to be in a really beautiful space. So the location for me here in Newcastle has been, yeah, amazing to secure that. And think teepee tents. There's going to be so many beautiful things happening. Lifestyle brands as part of it. Floral tools. A lot of those beautiful brands will be showcasing at the event as well.
And what are the dates of the event?
Sure. 24th to the 25th of November. So it takes place over 2 days.
And that's 2026.
Yes, 2026. Yes, next year. And look, the reason why we launched it and launched it for 2026 is that we're giving people a lot of time, especially, I've been contacted by people from Chile, flower growers from Germany coming out. So it really gives people a chance to save for this little trip as well, because I promise you it will be life-changing for so many of us.
Will there be any flower tours associated with the summit?
Yes. So it's funny that you say that actually. We haven't announced it yet, but I'm in talks with someone incredibly talented who is from the UK, and stay tuned. There could be a few little flower tours happening straight after the event.
Amazing. I know
Yeah.
I want to see some flower farms while I'm
Yes.
there. I'm so excited. It's going to be
Definitely.
such an amazing event. And I mean, just the power of connecting with local growers in the US. I can't imagine what's going to happen when we bring this international collective of flower farmers together. Oh, not just farmers, excuse me.
Yeah.
I'm a
Yeah.
farmer, so I'm used to
Yeah.
saying flower farmers. The floral industry together is just going to be truly magical to have so many inspiring minds sharing ideas and connecting. And there's going to be opportunities to meet one another as well. Is that correct?
Oh, absolutely. Beautiful networking opportunities. We've got at the end of the event a celebration cocktail style event. It's going to be beautiful. So, lots of opportunities there to connect with incredible women and like minded women as well.
Now, paint a picture. What is Newcastle like in November?
You're gonna love it. Well, you see my little posts that I'm giving the internationals a sneak peek. We've got the most magnificent beaches. We've got the Hunter Valley so close to us. It's just an hour away, which is wine country. The most amazing, paddock to plate establishments. It's a really beautiful seaside town with a bit of country mentality. Everyone is g'day guys. Everyone says hello to each other. Everyone supports one another. It's a really beautiful city to live.
And if someone is flying in internationally, how do they get to Newcastle? What's
Yeah,
the international
absolutely.
airport?
Yeah, international airport would be Sydney, and then you can actually fly into Newcastle as well. Yeah, so it's a really look where we are, the access is very, very easy, which is going to be great. And we've got a beautiful hotel partner on board, a local hotel, Crystal Brook Kingsley's, who is going to be discounting all of our attendees for accommodation. But there's good old Airbnb, amazing places to stay here. Everything is so close to each other here in Newcastle as well, which is great.
It sounds so incredible. What's the weather like in November?
You're going to love it. It's coming into summer and it's just magical. It's so beautiful at the moment. I've been doing the 4:30 a.m. wake up, go for a run and have a swim in the ocean and watch the sunrise and just oh my God, it's so important. Something that we're all probably guilty of doing is not stopping and being present. And it's something that I'm such a busy person that I am very guilty of doing, especially with three boys. My life is very busy. So this has been it's enabling me at the moment to reset and recharge.
And I was just at a personal development conference this weekend, and that was one thing that was talked about over and over and over again is making sure that you take time every day to be present. And that's where you find the joy in life also. And I'm like, you know what? That's one of the best things about being in the floral industry is
Yeah.
that there's so much joy. I mean, when you're around flowers, it's so easy to bring that joy. And so I
Oh,
can't
yeah.
imagine how joyous this event is going to be with so many people who have the same passion for flowers all together.
I know. It's something that I'm so excited about and feel really grateful of where I am right now as well. So I'm cannot wait to showcase you guys here as well. It's going to be and show you our country. You're going to love it.
You know, I don't know if you're even aware that week is US Thanksgiving. It is,
Oh
which
my
my
God.
family's totally okay to miss Thanksgiving, but maybe there's a way to incorporate like a huge
Thank you.
Thanksgiving
That's
dinner or some kind of
yes. I should.
gratitude dinner.
Yes, I will. I'll do a little sneaky with you, Marin Galena. Yes, stay tuned. Thank you. I needed that secret.
I was just thinking there's gonna be a lot of Americans, but it's a great time to travel. My
Oh,
family's,
yes.
pescatarian, so we don't do turkey. So we
Yes.
always travel around that time because 'cause we're like, "Oh, we're not missing Thanksgiving,"
Wow. So
but
you eat fish?
we do. I bet you have
Yeah.
a lot of great fish on the
You
ocean.
would. We have the best seafood here. It's beautiful.
I can't wait.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we've got our listeners super excited for this conference. How do they join us?
Sure. So you can head over to flowersummit.com.au. All the information is on there. And follow us on Instagram as well. Instagram, it's the Flower Summit. And that has lots of updates on there as well.
And we're gonna link to all of that in today's show notes as well. So if someone just heads to today's show notes, they can click on the link and register or check out the summit because it's gonna be one you don't wanna miss.
Amazing.
Is there anything, Jess, that I haven't asked you today that you want to share with our listeners?
No, I'm so grateful for that. That was just such a beautiful chat.
It
You covered
was. It's always
everything.
so fun to talk to you.
Oh, you too. It's so lovely. You've got such a beautiful energy.
You too. I'm so excited. It's gonna be so nice to meet you in person, and you are
Yes.
coming back to the US in 2027.
Yes, we are. We're coming back August and recently just booked Lady Florence House again where we stayed. It was a beautiful homestead there. But yes, so visiting you, Em, again, Galena and Marin to see how far they've come since we obviously visited them in 25. But yes, cannot wait. I love Seattle, loved being there. I can't believe how many other growers are reaching out to us going, hey, come and see me. And I'm like, oh my God, like, I don't think I'm going to have enough time. But I think that's where I'm going to do a beautiful networking event as one of the events that we do on the tour, because I think that'll be a really beautiful connection for not just the attendees, but for everyone that I don't get to see.
That'll be so fun.
Yeah.
I have loved this conversation. Thank you
Oh.
so much for getting up early today to carve out time with me. And I'm just so excited for everything that you're working on, and I thank you for being a champion for the floral industry. It's really an exciting time to be part of this industry and growing flowers and knowing how much beauty we're all bringing into this world. So thank you for contributing to that.
You're so welcome. Thank you so much for inviting me onto your amazing little podcast.
Thank you. We'll see you in Australia.
Thank
Thank you. Bye-bye.
you.
Thank you, flower friends, for joining us on another episode of the Backyard Bouquet. I hope you've enjoyed the inspiring stories and valuable gardening insights we've shared today. Whether you're cultivating your own backyard blooms or supporting your local flower farmer, you're contributing to the local flower movement, and we're so happy to have you growing with us. If you'd like to stay connected and continue this blossoming journey with local flowers, don't forget to subscribe to the Backyard Bouquet Podcast. I'd be so grateful if you would take a moment to leave us a review of this episode. And finally, please share this episode with your garden friends. Until next time, keep growing, keep blooming, and remember that every bouquet starts right here in the backyard.